All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Ohio State football with Scarlet and Great, your co-host here, Johnny Bullet. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we have everybody's favorite segment, my favorite segment, the Delusional Fan of the Week. We are going to talk about none other than Michigan running back Hassan Haskins as this week's Delusional Fan of the Week. Before we get into that, I just ask you, as always, please help us reach our channel's goals. And I want to say this, my life has been going pretty good as of late. It seems the more this channel grows, the more subscribers we get, the better my life goes, and the worse Michigan football seems to do. You know, the recruiting not so great. I think 11 of their 11 of their 15 recruits are 3 stars. They just lost a key battle. Let's face it, they're probably never really that in on the kid was never that in on them, to North Carolina. So the things are doing great here. I just ask that you continue this. Help us to get to 2,500 subscriptions by season's kickoff. So please subscribe to this channel and add to Michigan's demise by liking this video. It seems the better this channel does, the worse Michigan does. So thank you so much, as always, for partaking in this. We always want to, I just want to say this. This segment, the Delusional Fan of the Week, was kind of dead for a while. Why? Well, sadly, and you'll find out why I say sadly, the Michigan football team and their fan base had accepted reality. After last season, it really sunk in. We're not elite. We're not going to be elite anytime soon. Beating Ohio State is not realistically on the radar. Anything can happen in a game, but it's just not realistic. They're better than us. The gap keeps getting bigger. It's getting bigger now as we speak. We had a 3 overtime win over Rutgers as one of our 2 wins. And they just accepted defeat. The transfer portal then happened, ravished the team. You looked at some of the good players they could bring in, they didn't develop. And I don't blame these players at all for jumping ship. Guys like Zach Charbonnet, and too many to name, right? We'd be here forever. So the fan base was kind of the team seemed Well, who knew that all it really needed to be resurrected back to the true back-to-back off-season champs and running their mouths, the Michigan Wolverines, all they needed was a real off-season, a real spring, one not plagued by COVID and a pandemic, right? That's all they needed to start running their mouths again and act like they are elite. Hassan Haskins at Big Ten Media Days came out and said, hey, I'm paraphrasing here, but I am not butchering. I am not saying what he didn't say. He said they were the best running back room in the nation. The best running back room in the nation. That's what he felt like. I am so glad. There's a piece of me that gets upset. Like, how do these guys, the fans keep saying all this junk? Now the players say this junk and the coaches say this junk. When are they going to stop and accept reality? Right? When are they going to get back to just saying, well, we are who we are? But no. I'm glad this segment's going to make a lot of money for us. It's going to bring a lot of enjoyment to you. And the Michigan fan base is going to just realize that they're the laughing stock of college football for a while. All right. Best running back room in the nation. Let's see. I made some notes. First of all, it's not about how they're not the best running back room in the nation. You can probably tell me, comment below who you think is better, right? I'm not even going to go Ohio State. Just look, Kennedy Brooks at Oklahoma and Eric Gray, right? Oregon returns around 1,600 plus yards from scrimmage. Travis Dye and C.J. Verdell. Texas with Bijan Robinson and a pack of gum is probably better than what Michigan has. Georgia returning 5 rushers. I think the lowest in yards return is stud Kendall Milton. Remember those? Going to have a sore subject for Buckeye fans. Fantastic running back. Notre Dame, Kyron Williams, Chris Tyree. It goes, just the list goes on and on and on about who is actually better and more talented. Now, I don't think that Michigan has a bad running back room. Michigan has a lot of problems. The running back room has the same problem that the rest of the team has. It's attached to a bunch of losers, right? That's what the problem the running back team. The running back team's not that bad. The running back room, it's really not that bad. Hassan Haskins is a good enough player. Zach Charbonnet's gone. Blake Corum was a decent recruit. He looks to probably be a nice player. It's a good little foot. I mean, look, it's a good little running back room, good little football team. They're not elite. Nothing about them's elite, right? They're not. This is what Michigan needs to realize, and they won't. If you're a Michigan fan, you can have a peace of mind in the fact that I'm actually your friend, because I am one of the few that will tell you the truth about the team. It's not elite. It's not close to being elite. It's a good little program, right? You'll be better than some teams. Better than, if you look at 130 FBS teams, you'll be in the upper half, I guess. You can be better than some guy. You might beat Rutgers, maybe not, maybe, you're okay. Good little program. But it's time to stop acting like you have not earned the right to say the things that you say, yet you continue to say them. And I don't see how the fan base doesn't grow tired of it, right? You got commenters in some of these old videos talking about how the recruiting's not that bad. I mean, yeah, you want to say we're top 15 in the country, okay, but yeah, it's just a bunch of warm bodies. 11 of your 15 recruits are 3 stars. So, we recognize talent. No, you don't, because if you did, the teams would be better. Oh, we develop talent. No, you don't, because if you did, the teams would be better. So you have this Michigan running back again popping off the mouth saying that this team is the running back room is so great. And I know you got Mike Hart and the other guys there. It just goes to talk about the problem, right? It goes to talk about the problem in the false bravado in this team. Look, obviously most of us here are all good Ohio State fans here, right? None of us are saying, well, most. I'm not going to sit here and say we're the best running back room in the nation. You got to be realistic, right? While I think there are some good and great backs in there, I think there's a lot of depth. I think Master T, not a world beater, but he's going to be a good back this year, I think. I think Marcus Crowley is an extremely underrated back that was Gatorade Player of the Year in Florida. Like 10 yards a carry. Mayan Williams is looking to be polished. Travion Henderson is going to be an absolute stud, and you got another young buck that looks to be very good, and Evan Pryor, and there's some names probably I didn't even mention, Steel Chambers and others with whatever's going on there. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that that's the best room in the nation. You got to look at the top dog that, in the room that determines most of it, and look, Kennedy Brooks and these other guys I named, that's, I'm not going to say it's the best room in the nation. That's called being realistic. Michigan's all about false bravado, right? Look at the examples, right, in the past. Remember this one? Joe Milton was Cam Newton. Guys, he wasn't even the best quarterback on that team. He was not even good. It was a bad quarterback play, right? And you guys just remembered Don Brown and Jim Harbaugh. They always like to talk too much. John Brown, remember, Ohio State needs to be careful, right? There's just so much there that just screams of weirdness and false bravado. Who's got it better than us? Did you guys happen to catch Jim Harbaugh at the Big Ten Media Days? How anybody could believe that this team is ready for big things when you listen to their leader talking about took a lot of steps up a mountain. I got a winter gene in me. What? People ask him questions about the defense, and Kwity Paye had all the right characteristics. He's a good person. This is the guy you're following into battle? Michigan Wolverines, Michigan fan base, this is what you need to do. Put your nose down and go to work. Be honest. Say something along the lines of, we've got a great room and a lot of depth, and I feel like we're prepared. You want to say, anybody in the country, you want to use that line, say, we're prepared, I believe, to go up against anybody in the country. We're ready because we have a lot of depth. We have great coaching, and I believe in my teammates here, and we're really developing. I don't think anybody could fault you for that, right? But we're the best room in the country. I really believe that. No, you don't. And if you do, it's because you're in this culture that doesn't just put its nose down and is honest and works hard. It's just a bunch of rah, rah, rah. Just a bunch of Cam Newton and Joe Milton and be careful and who's got it better than us, right? It escapes me some of these things that are said in the off season about how Michigan is going to be so good and so great. And you've seen time and time again, guys, I am telling you the truth. Michigan fans, don't get upset. I'm your friend. I come to you with the truth. Have you not been excited years and years and years past? Shea Patterson, 5-star coming in. The team tells you it's going to be good. The writers tell you it's going to be good, and you believe it. But what I'm telling you is that they have, who are you going to believe? Me or people have constantly been wrong? We've said the team's not going to be good. They haven't been good. They said the team's going to be good. The team wasn't good. Who are you going to believe? What? You're just going to keep believing the hype? Michigan even puts out these things. If I'll give a shout out to James Yoder. James Yoder is a great source for Michigan football fans. You know why? You know how you know he's a great source? Because the university put out a letter saying he wasn't legit. And that university, you see how they run their media program. Remember when Kyle Lamb, who was coined as, I guess, what they called him, a Ohio State blogger at the time, broke the news before the Wisconsin game, I believe it was 2 years ago, that Zach Charbonnet was injured. And he needed some work on his knee. And the Michigan football program, remember? No. Nobody's injured. Well, because they run that room. You don't say things that they don't want you to say. Oh, and they come out against Wisconsin. He had 2 carries. He was starting running back the week before. He had 2 carries. The team got beat up by Wisconsin in a big loss. So who are you going to believe? Are you going to believe this false bravado that continues to tell you how great this team is and how there's these visions of grandeur and El Dorado coming forward in this next season? Or are you just going to accept reality? I know what the answer is. You're going to continue to believe what you want to believe and continue to get lied to and continue to talk. And we're going to have a new segment every week, and it's going to be great. And we're going to get a lot of views and make a lot of money, and it's going to be awesome, right? I know the truth. I guess I'm just pleading with you to be kind to yourself and realize that Hassan Haskins and those like him are just filling your head full of lies. Hassan Haskins, your delusional fan of the week.